relationships. So today we're supposed to talk about the video and answer the following questions. Let's see. Dig deep. There's more going on here than is obvious on the surface. So, did you guys all watch the video, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So the first question says, which needs is this little girl trying to fill? I mean, on the surface, she's just trying to have friends, right? Or she's trying to be cool. I don't know. This was a stretch for me. I really don't get it. So, acceptance, be recognized. That makes sense.
It's a satire, right? I mean, they're kind of making fun of how grown-ups do things.
Mm-hmm.
But what needs is she trying to fulfill? Yeah, to be recognized, to be important, to be heard, maybe.
Mm-hmm. So
she doesn't even want equality. She wants to be better than.
Yes, that's a good point. Not equality. I'm going to take notes and I'll send it to you guys afterwards. Because last week I forgot and I got a 0.
That was a cool group.
Yes.
It's like she even wants to lead the cool group.
Yes. Yes. She wants to be the Regina George. I relate everything to that movie. Okay. Let's see. How does she go about trying to fill those needs? So she definitely tried to find the coolest toy, which I thought was hilarious that it was just a simple ball. But it totally is the coolest toy. Let's see. What else? She was like, I don't know that it's necessarily how she was going about filling those needs, but she was like mad at the other boy who was popular. So I don't know if that really applies.
Well, it's funny because it's not like he even did anything. Yeah, she took notes and made lists. She totally analyzed what they did and how it sounded like she was a part of an advertising team trying to manipulate the public to figure out how to, she's a total politician. How am I going to be number one? Right? It was so strange.
That's funny.
She had this team. I don't know how. Yeah, that kind of blew my mind.
On others' observations, almost like an advertisement. Let's see. Next question. Sorry. Do you know any adults that still do the same thing? You should. I think we all do it to an extent. Trying to think of an example of myself because I know I've done it, and I'm sure I did it yesterday. Who knows? Any of you think of anything?
Yeah.
Yes, people buy a bigger house with fancy house. I said horse. They even buy new dogs or have more children to fit into certain groups. Yes, that's a good point.
Yeah, keeping up with the Joneses sort of deal.
Yes, that's exactly what that is. Actually, I was just reading, are you guys familiar with Dave Ramsey?
Yeah.
Guru guy?
Yeah.
Reading one of his books, and he was like, "Stop Joneses, they're broke." And that made me feel better.
I think that's a great thing to remember. They're completely broke.
Remembering it and then actually applying it are two totally different things. But
yeah.
I think even small things like I don't know, looking at magazines and seeing like the new trends or like Pinterest or things like that, and like trying to dress accordingly or decorate your house accordingly. Even small things can be the same.
Yeah.
Or always like I have a sister. Oh, this is my idea. Okay, so I have a sister-in-law who she lives in a smaller town. It's not super small, but it has like two high schools and it's surrounded by nothing. Um, and they so all those little parties. I think we talked about it last week. The hosting parties. So she was telling my other sister-in-law that lives in the same town. She's like, I want to bring something new, to our area, something that no one's ever done before, and yada yada yada. And she finally found something, and like everybody's like jumping on board with it. And she's like a little bit like, I'm so cool, kind of thing. Like I'm amazing. And I think that's totally kind of goes in line with the exact same thing that this little girl was trying to do. Um, and it's yeah, I don't know.
It's
So,
funny. It kind of reminded me of like high school mean girl kind of stuff, but without the emotional attachment. Like this little girl was super analytical about it, and I mean, she really seriously reminded me of like a politician. Like she needed to have a team of people telling her how to dress, telling her what like she was Lucy from Charlie Brown. Like, let me take a poll to see how you're going to do. If you decide to run for student body president, you're going to lose. Like, I mean, it
mhm,
was so weird. So I mean, we kind of, yeah, adults do it. There are some little things where they're like, let me, let me think. My last primary presidency meeting, one of the counselors or the other counselor, I should say, she goes, okay, I can do A, B, and C. And then she goes, well, but then I can make C just a little bit better. And it's just kind of like her way of going, this is my extra contribution. Notice what I can do. And that makes me just feel a little bit better about myself and makes me look a little bit better to everybody else, too,
mhm,
kind of deal.
mhm,
And I don't know if it's a self-esteem thing or maybe she just doesn't feel heard. I don't know.
mhm. I think that's what's interesting is trying to figure, or not trying to figure out because it's not really our business, but thinking about what is the root cause of all of these types of actions. I don't know. I just find it very interesting. Like my sister-in-law, I'm like, okay, go, go. Sorry. I'm just like, what? Like, why do you have to, bring a cool new thing to town? Like, why do you care? Like, I don't know. But I mean, I have
Yeah.
my own opinions, obviously. But I don't know. It's just interesting trying to figure out kind of why people do things the way that they do. And I feel like that's kind of the main purpose of the class, but just
Yeah.
understanding perceptions and things like that. But,
Well, like
anyways.
with this counselor, it actually helps because she's a little nuts.
Hmm.
So, and we get a few complaints about people interacting with her. But to think about why she does the things she does, kind of helps people to understand where she's coming from. And oh, okay, that makes a little bit more sense. Okay, I can be a little bit kinder. I can be a little bit more patient. Whatever, whatever. So. I kind of felt bad how this little girl kind of like screwed the guy over at the end.
Yeah. But then they were like friends. But I guess then she popped his ball. Is that what she did?
Yeah, purposely. She's like, we were even having fun, and then like it shows her sabotaging the whole deal. I was like, you're rude.
That's funny.
So I don't know. Maybe people are just evil. maybe this whole thing, that's the whole setup. People are evil. Stay away.
That's funny. Okay, so is there a better way she could have gone about meeting her needs? Um, I don't know. I feel like her need was more like trying to be the coolest kid on the playground, not just having friends.
Yeah.
So, no, not really, but that's not the right type of need. So, maybe just inviting another kid to play or um, I don't know, like obviously the other little boy that she was envious of was totally cool playing with her.
Yeah.
So maybe she should have just played with him from the start. Just trying to be kind to others to be recognized as someone who's a good friend. That's a good one.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that's hard because, yeah, if the end goal for her was to be the top dog,
Hmm.
then how do you do that without being psycho?
Yeah.
Like, I can't think of another way. Maybe I'm just as evil as she is. Like, I can't think of another way to go about that.
Well, and I think what it's really saying is those weren't her needs. I think she
Oh, that's a good
has
point.
like her mind twisted a little bit, thinking that, oh, that's how I can be happy, that's how I can have friends. Whereas that's not kind of how you get it. So just by being a friend, and like Carolyn said, just to be
Yeah.
recognized as someone that's a good friend, and then people will want to play with you more, be your friend.
Right.
Um,
Yeah. That's a good point, Carolyn.
okay. Are there any lessons here for you in your relationship? Of course. Um,
Don't be manipulative. Don't pop the kid's ball at the end because look, she had a friend and she ruined it.
that's funny. Okay, Carolyn said it's always interesting because the people that are the most popular really don't have to try. The people that try aren't real, they seem superficial. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I agree. Um, it's like, I don't know, like you think of like the nicest person you knew in school that like everybody liked, and you probably like this little girl tried to manipulate them, but it wasn't sincere, so it didn't have the same effect. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Um, or like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm rambling.
Oh.
Okay, don't try to keep up with others. Just be yourself and be proud of who you are. Friends will come to you and flock to your personality. That's another good one. You should be a high school life coach. I hope that's not a needed thing.
It probably is a needed thing. Because nobody knows how to go about doing that.
Right?
And the pay probably would be awful. So
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Um, I think another one, just like when they were playing so nice together, like she had happiness and she had a friend, and then, like you said, she went and just sabotaged it. Like, I guess be grateful for what you have and not always try to go to the next level. Like, I feel like she was trying to like get him out of the game so that she could be number one.
maybe she lost sight of what the original goal was. I mean, maybe the original goal was to have friends, and then she just got so involved with how to be better than this kid that she couldn't let herself be happy.
Mhm. Um,
Hmm.
I don't know, like for me, like I think like everybody else, because money doesn't grow on trees, even though it totally should. I think about like I just had this conversation with my husband like 10 minutes ago. Um, like I have like my house, I have my family, I have, like we have a car that works, we have a nice computer, we have iPhones that are old but they work. All these different things, and I'm still like upset that I don't have, A, B, C, and D that I really want. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
I want this, I want this, I want this, but I'm not being grateful for what I have. And I just want to be better and be better and be better. It's totally keeping up with the Joneses. But I tell myself it's not because I don't want the same material things that other Joneses have,
Hmm.
but it's totally the same. But it's just interesting just that we keep trying to climb a ladder that doesn't go anywhere. Um, well, I mean it does, but it doesn't have any real worth. And I feel like that's what she ended up doing, not necessarily what she originally tried to do. Like you said, she kind of lost sight of what she was really searching for. Um, and I don't know. And I guess with that comes trying to be sincere and trying to, um, I don't know. I'm rambling again.
We had something going.
I never
Um,
end my comments very well. Oh,
this one was perplexing. I mean,
yeah.
what
It's
was
just
the rest of? What are the rest of the things that we read? We read about relationship. Okay, we read about breaking up. We read about marital relationships. We read about speaking kind words. Um, and this girl was kind of like the opposite of all those things.
mhm.
Well, I don't know.
Then maybe those are the lessons. To um, I don't know, to understand how to show love to other people, to understand, like with the communication audit, like how many good things we're putting in and how many, or what is it? What did they call it? The interactions, the conforming messages and confirming messages and disconfirming messages. If we're
Mm.
sending the right ratio, or if we're sending enough confirming and too many disconfirming, which she didn't really do. So maybe not.
I mean, it's funny because it's not like she blamed anybody else. She's like, I took matters into my own hands, and she set out this whole campaign to become
Mm-hmm.
#1, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not that she was, you know, it wasn't for lack of trying. It wasn't for, I mean, she worked really hard. I don't know. Maybe she just didn't have the right insight in the first place, like what's really important.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, weird. Yeah, it was weird.
Which might make sense. I mean, if you think about her actual situation, you think about her age, maybe it gives a better insight into a lesson that we can learn based on how children communicate and how children's perceptions are of reality and of how they see that they can meet their needs and achieve their goals and things like that. Like I know my son is not patient and not understanding of life like any other 3-year-old, but it's, I guess maybe that's a lesson as well. Um, and I think it could even be portrayed in a larger spectrum or a different age spectrum, of that we're all at different levels of controlling our emotions and, um, having an understanding of other people and their circumstances, um, and coming to grips with the trials in each of our lives and situations and such. Um, and we all need to cut each other some slack. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I think a lot of that stuff doesn't really go away, which is kind of what made the video so funny. She went
Mm-hmm.
about this, problem in such an adult-sounding way.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I think a lot of times as adults, or even as like teenagers, we like to think, oh, we know what we're going, what's going on. We're so much better than these young kids, whatever. But really, we have the same issues, and a lot of times we we go about things badly and don't think rationally, or maybe think too rationally, and and screw everyone else over as well as ourselves. Um, yeah, maybe.
Let's see. So Carolyn said maybe that's what another lesson is, that the girl went about gaining what she wanted in an adult way, yet she ended up acting like a child in the end, which we definitely do as adults. Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yay, Carolyn. Yeah, like 'cause as much as we're like we're grown ups, We're not. We're gonna poke her in the eye anyway. Quick.
All right. Well, I think it's pretty good. What do you guys think? Anything else to say?
I'm satisfied.
Okay. Well, nice chatting with you guys. We'll see you later.
Oh, thanks, ladies.
No problem. Okay. Bye.
Bye.